Hey all, it's Ian from Eurogamer here, and I've been given a total of 7 minutes and 29 seconds worth of brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign footage to show off to you all. Footage that's been taken from the first 3 missions in the game. I've scoured this footage for info and found 25 interesting things hidden in there. So, if you want to know more about how Battlefront 2's campaign starts and plays, this is the video for you. But be warned, there'll be spoilers ahead.
There are too many rebels outside my cell. Find another way.
The first thing we learn is that, at the very start of the game, Iden Versio, the commander of Inferno Squad and the main protagonist of the game, has been imprisoned in a cell aboard an Alliance ship. Somehow she has managed to deploy her personal ID-10 Seeker droid that normally lives on the back of her armour. In various points during the campaign, ID-10 can be ordered to hack doors or electrocute enemies, but here the player has direct control over it and must guide it through these vents without getting spotted by guards or damaged by these electrical bursts. As the droid emerges from this vent, it becomes clear we're on a very large ship that turns out to be an MC-80 Liberty-type starcruiser, a Mon Calamari ship that was brought into service during the Galactic Civil War. Through the viewport we can see another Calamari cruiser floating next to the ship, and there's even a blink-and-you'll-miss-it glimpse of an Alliance U-Wing. The U-Wing, of course, was first introduced into Star Wars in the standalone movie Rogue One. This section ends with ID-10 activating some kind of area scan, which highlights all of the crew members working in this engineering section of the ship. There are a mixture of symbols above the crew's heads, probably signifying different ranks or enemy types. This short cutscene shows ID-10 finally rescuing Iden before returning to its position on the back of her armour.
Right on time. Let's go.
With Iden on the loose on the rebel ship, the first thing you'll probably notice is the sound of the alarms. They'll sound very familiar to anyone like me who has constantly rewatched that final incredible corridor scene in Rogue One. The first objective shown on screen is to retrieve a weapon, which Iden does pretty quickly, snatching an A280C blaster rifle from the rack on the wall. With blaster in hand, Iden then dispatches ID-10 to hack the door so she can escape to the airlock on the MC-80. This is one of Iden's special abilities, and it's activated by pressing down L1 and R1 at the same time. Quickly, Iden dispatches 2 rebels before stunning one with a melee attack and finishing him off with a blast to the chest. This shows that melee attacks, or at least ones performed while holding a rifle, do not guarantee an instant kill. After cutting down a few more rebels, this time ones that are in full alert, as the lightning icon above their heads indicates, we can spot a terrified protocol droid making a swift exit through the nearby blast doors. Iden then dispatches ID-10 once more, this time sending it out to disable the rebels hiding behind cover, which it does with a couple of electrical bursts. This quick shot confirms exploding barrels in Battlefront 2. I love this next bit. As ID-10 is hacking another door, Iden is able to turn around and shoot the controls for the door behind her, causing it to close and protect her flank. That's a proper cool Star Wars-y moment, and I hope you can do it throughout the game.
Agent Hask, I'm in position.
Understood, Commander. Prepare for extraction.
3, 2.
In the final cutscene for this first chapter, we see Iden making one of the most badass escapes ever, ejecting herself into space, where she's caught by the Corvus, the Imperial cruiser that serves as Inferno Squad's home base.
Agent Hask, I'm in position.
Also, that Agent Hask that Iden mentions, that's Gideon Hask, pilot of the Corvus, who was first introduced in the Inferno Squad novel that was written by Christie Golden. Next up, we've got footage from Chapter 2, the Battle of Endor, where we see Iden taking out a rebel patrol who are trying to break into an Imperial bunker. Here she uses another one of her 4 potential special abilities to overcharge her blaster rifle. This ability is mapped to the L1 button.
Here I go! Patrol neutralized.
Next, she switches to her shotgun, mapped to the R1 button. The hourglass on the icon suggests it's a weapon that you can use only for a limited time before the ability needs to recharge.
It's what they deserve.
Slice this.
Inside the bunker is a weapon cache consisting of a DLT-19X targeting rifle, a special barrage weapon, and a locked box which contains one of the game's collectibles. Once the barrage weapon is picked up, it fills Iden's 4th ability slot that is then activated by pressing left on the D-pad. After that successful ambush, things go tits up for Inferno Squad in this next cutscene, as they witness the destruction of the Death Star 2 and the death of the Emperor.
Look alive, agents. We can grieve later. Right now we need to move.
On you, Commander.
Somehow this segues into another cutscene, this time set above Endor amongst the wreckage of the Death Star. Iden is flying a TIE fighter through the junk with another member of Inferno Squad in tow. The file name for this clip is Endor Flight Intro, which suggests that this is the first time in the campaign we'll get to fly a ship. At the bottom of this shot, we can see another Calamari cruiser. Could this be the one that Iden escaped from, or is it part of the Alliance fleet that we saw during the final space battle in Return of the Jedi? Somehow, Iden's wingman has damaged his TIE fighter. This looks like a handy plot device which will allow people to easily follow his ship through the wreckage as they get to grips with the controls.
The Empire will change, just like it did when they destroyed the first Death Star. We adapt or die.
Commander, we have a problem.
What is it, Hask?
The Corvus was damaged by the Death Star explosion. Engines are down, but the crew is making repairs.
What's the status on the engines?
Ion injector systems at 60%. I'm diverting shield power to reignite the engine systems.
In this next clip, we can see that the Corvus has sustained major damage, and it's now stranded in the wreckage with no shield power. Here, players will have to engage in dogfights with X-Wings and Y-Wing bombers in order to protect the Corvus while it undergoes repairs.
Bombers are making their attack run now.
This final slice of gameplay from Mission 3 shows off some more space combat, this time above the planet Fondor. In this section, Inferno Squad has to protect the Dauntless, a Star Destroyer that was used during the Clone Wars. If this section looks familiar, it's because this is the setting for the Starfighter Assault multiplayer level that we saw in the recent Battlefront 2 multiplayer beta.
You are clear, Commander. Get to that hangar.
I'm boarding the enemy ship. Agent Hask, join me inside when I give the order. Until then, cover the Dauntless.
Yes, Commander.
And that's pretty much all the info I could uncover in this footage, but perhaps bigger Star Wars fans than I can spot other hidden details that I missed. If you can, let us know what they are in the comments below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and do subscribe to Eurogamer for more Star Wars Battlefront 2 coverage in the near future. Goodbye.